Greetings and welcome to another episode of Trippy Food. Today we are at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and Hollywood Forever Cemetery is the home of the annual Dia de los Muertos celebration. It's a pretty big thing. Now, the cemetery by itself is a pretty spectacular thing because there's a lot of celebrities buried here. During the year they do movies, they do concerts. So all together, it's going to be pretty exciting. What are you the most excited about seeing today?
All of it. This has been a bucket list dream of mine forever. So just to be here during Day of the Dead is amazing. Just to see everybody's costumes, the performances, the dances, the music, and then also just see some of the famous people that are here is also pretty awesome. But really, it's just the tradition, the culture of the ofrendas are really what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and we'll talk to a lot of people about that. So this is it used to be an all-day event, and now they split it in half because it was so popular. So they have a daytime one and a nighttime one. We'll see how much of it we can do. It's pretty early in the morning. We're going to be here all day, so let's check it out and see what we can find.
So every year, the celebration is dedicated to one of the Mayan gods. This year, it's dedicated to Mayan, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, who's behind me. If you look up their story, you can see that it's actually like a tormented love story between the grandmother and this goddess disguised herself as a plant and ripped themselves into shreds. It's like, if you read it, it's very interesting. Anyways, this goddess's story is how the first maguey plant sprouted, and the maguey plant is very important in Mexican and a lot of cultures because it is how mezcal is born, and from tequilas. So that is the goddess of tequila or mezcal, and so this is the goddess of the event. That's who we're celebrating here today.
Tent behind me is one of many where if you came here, you weren't dressed for Day of the Dead, you could get your face painted and actually do some really amazing work. This is just one tent. You can go to one of about a dozen to get your face done. We obviously came prepared, but if you didn't, get it done here.
Tamron Hall!
I think it deserves a V.
The Tamron Hall!
Thank you, Eric. Hi! It is so good to be here today. All of you look absolutely incredible, but more than the exterior, the heart that you put into these costumes and the hours that you put into the love is very obvious to me. The judges have awarded our first runner-up this year to Cristina Sanchez, and our winner this year is straight from Australia, Janine Beltran. Come over here. Australia.
I'm absolutely speechless. I can't believe it. You know, Cristina, she's like my #1 inspiration, and before me, you know, taking part in Dia de los Muertos, you know, I followed her story, and she did inspire me a lot, and you truly did, and I thank you for that. And I thank you everybody for allowing me to be here and express myself and be able to express your culture, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
The area you see behind me, that tomb, that's the tomb of Douglas Fairbanks and Douglas Fairbanks Jr., two very early actors, father and son. They're buried in that tomb. Now, the area that you see in front of it where that reflecting pool is, that's been converted for this event for picnic areas. Basically, you can buy the food, bring it over to the picnic area. Now, that big white wall you see in the background, they show movies on that wall during the year. So that can be a lot of fun as well. There's a wide variety of food. It's mostly, I would say, like, I want to say kind of blue-collar Mexican food. And we decided we were going to get a quesabirria, which is basically it's sort of like a taco with birria inside it, and it's grilled. And we also got a birria torta, which is a Mexican sandwich with birria inside it. Really savory, really juicy, tender, really, really good. So, no matter what you wanted, there was all kinds of food to be had. If you looked around a little bit, you could even find stuff like pan de muerto.
So y'all have heard me talk about altars and ofrendas before in other episodes. This is a great, wonderful, gorgeous example of a beautiful altar and ofrenda for their loved ones. As you can see, there's the marigolds here, food for the deceased, and it's just a really beautiful tribute and one of many that we've seen here throughout the cemetery today.
One very interesting memorial was the National COVID Memorial Marked by COVID. And so the way it worked is that you sign into Snapchat, you point your phone towards the monument, which is shaped like the city of Los Angeles, and what happens is you see these cards floating up to the sky, and you click on one of the cards and it shows you one of the victims of COVID. It's a stark reminder and an appropriate memorial for Day of the Dead this year. The monument behind us is actually a cenotaph, so she's not actually here. This is a monument to Hattie McDaniel. Now, Hattie McDaniel played Mammy in Gone with the Wind. She won an Academy Award. She was the first African American to win an Academy Award for her role in the movie. Now, her last wishes were to be buried in this cemetery, and when she died in the 1950s, the cemetery was segregated, so she couldn't be buried here. So it wasn't until the 1990s that, in her honor, they put in a cenotaph for her, because this was where she wanted to be her final resting place.
We're here in front of the gravesite of the infamous Johnny Ramone. And spoiler alert, he's not actually in there, at least not yet. I believe his wife or girlfriend had worked out with the cemetery that when she passes away, they'll both be interred in here. But for right now, this is just a cenotaph in his memory. Dee Ramone, however, is buried in the cemetery and is not far from here, so we will be checking that out as well.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. It's not working. Wrong shoes. Hey look, it's the original Val. Well, Julie, this is your first first real big Dia de los Muertos celebration, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Your first time to Hollywood Forever Cemetery. What do you think? I mean, honestly, what do you think?
I'd say I could live here, but it's a cemetery, so.
Well, you could die here.
But it's just been absolutely amazing. The people, the ofrendas, the entertainment, everything has just been unbelievable. And I just wish I could come here every year. It's amazing. You should absolutely come and see it.
Well, we'll make it an annual thing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it used to be you just pay one fee, come in at a certain time, spend all day. They split it up so they get more people through here. I think the first session goes from 9 to 3, and then from 5 to midnight, I think it is. There's live music, there's food, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So make it a point to get out here. It's the Day of the Dead celebrations, usually on the weekend before.
The Saturday
no, I don't think it's ever after, right?
It's always right before Dia de los Muertos.
The Saturday before Dia de los Muertos. It's Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Hollywood, which is Los Angeles, California. Get out here, but be careful because it's crazy out there. Please take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we'll see you soon. Got it. Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.